Hey folks, welcome to Transplant Helper again today. My name is Jim Burrow, and I'm just kind of sitting here in the car outside of my kids' school again, and I'm doing a little bit of research, a little study, a little digging, and I ran across several articles that seem really promising when it comes to a liver transplant, or at least a potential liver transplant recipient. And basically it boils down to a new technology which is beginning to be introduced in the UK, hopefully and possibly will be introduced and used all over the world when it gets completely refined and worked up, and that is the ability to keep a liver warm as opposed to cold while it's being preserved, waiting for transplant. Now, you know already that there's some kind of technology similar to this, an infusion type device where hearts are now being placed instead of in a cooler and on ice. They're actually being allowed to have fluid pumped through them to keep them viable. Therefore, they can be transplanted further out, so the death occurs in the patient at, say, one moment, and you can wait longer than the typical used to be 4-hour period to transplant that organ. Now, the technology is not perfect there, but at least it's being used for the hearts. And a very similar technology is now being introduced in the UK as far as livers go. But it might even take things a step farther. Now, basically what it boils down to is livers used to be, they were taken out of the body, kind of set to the side, placed in a cooler while other organs were being harvested. And really, they were kind of the last organ to really be cared for in a sense. And because of that, more than 1/3 of the livers that were actually harvested were having to be discarded because maybe they had been outside of the previous body too long. Things just weren't working out. And so this new technology in a couple of different studies has shown a marked increase in the number of viable livers that are able to be transplanted. One study, I think it was, they did a comparison, kind of an A-B comparison. And the first thing they did, they used the old system. They harvested, I think it was 133 organs. And out of that 133 organs, 32 of those needed to be discarded because they were pretty much expired, if you will. On another side of that, the other start of it, this study, they placed 137 in these warmers, which allows blood to be pumped through them, medications to be offered to the organ, and them to stay in there a much longer period of time. And out of that number, only 16 of those organs failed. So 33 basically, and 16, that's your difference. So with a cold system, 33 failed. 16 failed on the warming system. So obviously just on the surface, that number in itself is better. So that allows more people to potentially be transplanted with those organs and less organs to need to be discarded because they're unusable. Now, on top of that, you might have caught this when I said it, not only are they pumping warm blood through these organs, helping them to, stay viable for longer periods of time, they're actually able to give them medication. So they can set these livers aside now, really work them over. I don't know if it's going to end up being for days or weeks. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. But for a much longer period of time, and give that liver medication. So if that liver is having a little problem, or if there's something about it that's not just so and just right, they can actually, through medications and even treatment, fix the liver. Get that? Fix that liver and then use it. So not only are they allowing the window of time to be much larger before these livers expire, they're now allowing the liver to actually be repaired before it's taken to the donor recipient. So that, to me, that's going to be wonderful news. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for other articles like this, trying to do some research and study and see if this is maybe coming to the States. For all I know, it may already be here in some form, but I think it's going to be really great, groundbreaking news for those of you who are waiting for liver transplants. And I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's been watching this program. I appreciate the thumbs up that you give me, the comments below. And by the way, if you're a liver transplant recipient, or maybe you're waiting on a liver, especially comment below this video and share your story. You could definitely inspire and encourage someone else, and share this out to others, because it's encouraging to me. And I'm not even a liver transplant patient as of yet, although got cirrhosis, and so who knows what the future holds. Hopefully nothing. But it makes me wonder, and it encourages me to know that this type of technology is being developed and even beginning to be used. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, stay stronger, friends.